Okay, so as I foresee, it's very hard for us to create an activity where we are just relying on the command prompt. So my example for you last time is we are using the command prompt, this one, right? I am using this, so I am letting my codes to be right in this black and white screen. So like if I will connect to the database, because my SAMP is uh, inside of C drive or the C directory. I have my SAMP. So my target folder is on the bin um, folder for me to access to the console of the MySQL. So, asa man to ron? MySQL and then bin. So, this is the drive that I need to work with to be active in our command prompt. So, you just type here C. If in case you are on the C, you have to make a to change directory. To do that, we can see cd dot dot. So I am now on the C users. Then cd dot dot. So I am now on the C. Then we have to make cd sump, and then inside of that is my SQL and then bin. So I have now on my active directory because my target file is here, which is the MySQL file. This is the one that I need to pinpoint. So all we need to do is type here mysql.exe and then don't forget the username and password. The username is root and we don't have password in this our account, so just leave it blank. So then we can now have um, we now have this monitor where we can start coding our MySQL queries or syntax. So the problem with this, using this um, uh, console is we cannot save our work. So that means if watanahuman, we need to work it again on the next day or if we have a computer. So to solve that issue, we are going to still use this, but instead we will use PHP as our scripting to store our data. So in order for us to create our database and so on, we can save our file into our directory and we can just finish our work when we need to, or if we have um, computers, since we can now store it on our .php file. So how we can do that? So make sure that we have installed some. So I will be have a separate tutorial or a separate session how we can set up everything. But for now, I will let you show how to work with your activities later. So um, going back at drive C because this is my drive directory. So um, I have here my SAMP control. Then make sure that the Apache server and MySQL server is running. So that is the first step. You have to check. Um, so then, if you have this Apache and MySQL running, so all we need to do is look for htdocs folder. you open it, and then you have a bunch of folders. If you have a fresh installed SAMP, there are fewer folders there. But in my case, I have more because I have some of my projects before. So in my case, in your case, you will going to create your own projects directory. So for example, I'll just put here Alejo dash SQL hands-on activities. Okay, so I have now a folder inside of some HCDocs directory. So this is now my working activity or working directory for my all activities. Then, in order for us to view our work, we can just visit our browser, any browser you will do, and type here local host, and then followed by the slash is the name of your directory. So then just copy and paste here on the directory. So it is now working. We all know that that directory is empty. So we don't have any file to run or a PHP script to run. So all we need to do is to open, I will let you use VS Code. VS Code, okay. Visual Studio. This is the text editor or the ID that we need to use. So once you have now on the VS Code, you go to File and you go to Open Folder. Then look for that directory that we created under the SAMP and htdocs directory. So you go to Drive C and you go to SAMP, you go to htdocs and find the folder you are working with. So this one. Then I will select this folder and as we can see now, I have now the Active Directory for my working folder for all my activities. Okay, the first thing that we need to do in our part is to create um, a connection from our database. So that is our first task that we need to um, work. So all we need to do is we create a file, um, create a new file, and I'll name it to con1.php. So the file extension should be a .php. Then you have the open close parentheses for PHP. So we need three variables for us to connect to the database. The first is the server name, and the second is the username, and the third one is the password. Let me know if you can follow along with me and someone the gamay ra ang text or enough for your screen. Okay, so yes, it's it's the docs. It's the docs. Yes, it's the docs. You go to MySQL if you are going to make it on the console. O arita this black and white screen. Our target directory is MySQL. Right now, our target directory is on the htdocs. So don't be confused with the two. When writing our PHP script, when you're writing our PHP script, we should always go to the htdocs folder. And if we are on the database side, uh, we will look for the MySQL directory. Okay? Okay, so right now, the Alejo underscore SQL hands-on activities are inside of the htdoc folder. So this is the one. Okay, if we now we created the con.php under here in the Visual Code. When we open it right now, we have now this file. We created this one a while ago using the VS or the Visual Studio Code. So right now we are now writing the three variables that we need for connecting to our database. The first variable or the first one is the server name, and we can just type here localhost. And then the username, it should be root, and the password is empty because there is no password for our root uh, account. Okay? So the next thing that we need is to create connection. So to do that, we can create con. Variable con is a new MySQLi a variable server name, comma, variable username, and comma, variable password. So in order for us to connect, we need to supply or we need to use the MySQL I command and supplying three parameters, which is the first one is the username, no, the server name, which is the localhost. Second one is the username, which is root, and password, which is blank. By this, we have now a connection to our database. For us to really check if this one is really working, we can just check it by just using the if statement, variable con, um, connect, I think connect error, okay, this one. Then, okay, just just we have to make it die. We die the page or we end the page or we kill the page. We just type here connection failed and just include also or append what is the connection problem or error. Connect error, I think that one, and that BR for us to move it on the next line. Then if else if it's connected, then just say um echo output something connected successfully. And then type here BR. So this is now the script for the connection, but this is only the one. This one is the connection. This one is only for checking if our connection is really so pwede ron tanan siya wala ra gyud ta ni dire because it is only for checking. This one is the very important one because this is the whole this holds the connection. So all we need to do is to check it. Where is my Chrome? Okay. Where is it? Okay. As you can see, we have on the local host Alejo underscore SQL hands-on. When I refresh the page, I have now a file name con1.php. So when I click on this, I have here connected successfully. So meaning our connection is established and it is working correctly. Okay, because we supplied the local host, the root, and the blank password. If we put here something on the password, it will say something like this. It is a connection failed, access denied for user root because you have supplied a password for the username group which doesn't have a password. Um, so you have a connection failed. Okay, so I guess everything is working. I'm just testing it out. So this is now our connection. So wala na tay problema. We have now connected to the database. The first thing that we need to do is to create our database. So we will create another one, another file. I will name it to activity one .php. And the activity number one is to create a database. Okay. Okay, so right now, I think I'll show databases. I am now on the console, show databases. So I have here nurse2. I have here, okay. So I have nurse2. So let me drop this one. Okay, drop nurse2. Okay, drop database nurse2. Yeah, so show databases. I sorry, show databases. So now nurse2 is now drop. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to create our database nurse2. To do that, um, we have now on activity number one, and this one is to create database nurse2. So the first thing that we need to do is to include our con1. Okay, so our con1. Then to do that, we have to type here include, then activity one.php. So this code basically tells us that we are including no, sorry, I'm wrong. Con1. I am in this file activity one.php. We are including in con1. So that means um, by testing it out, if we go to our browser and refresh, oh, we are in the con1, right? So we need to go to refresh, and we have now on the activity one.php. So in here, when we run it, it says connected successfully. Even though there is no a code here which is connection, we just include. So by the term include, that means we are adding on our file, which is what file that we add on our file, which is the con.1. So meaning in this line we inserted whatever inside of the con1.php. We are now here for in just we put it include one rather than copy pasting everything and pasting it here for us to work our codes. We make it less than. We may make our code less. Instead of using those two line of codes repeatedly for our connection, what we did is to just include our connection file because this file is correctly done. So all we need to do is to include it. So once we include it, we have now this file activity1.php is have now a connection to our database. Okay? Nakuha ra ninyo, wala ra man nalibog. Okay. So now since goods raman ta, we have now to create our for the database. So to do that, we have to go to our VS Code and type here. Okay, we will create a variable SQL or the SQL query, and you store it here, and we create and then type here create um, database nurso. So this is the SQL query, which is create database nurso. So all we need to do is to use the connection. So to do that, we have con. Remember that we have con variable here inside our con.php, and we can dependently create use this one here. So when I type here con, it automatically give me suggestion that we can use the variable con and then use this query method and add the SQL statement. So by this, we can now access to the database connection, and then we have a query that create database nurso. So in order for us to check it if this is correct or not, so all we need to do is choose this one. We add it on the if statement, if, and so meaning if it is working, or okay, or just make it is equal to true, meaning it is functioning or working, we need to output something. Echo nursu database created successfully. Okay, then we can just put here br um, to have a next line, and then else echo error creating database. Okay, then whatever the database error. Okay, and then br. So by this, we have now a command that creates a database for Nurso. So let us check this one. Just save it and then go to the browser. Then go to activity1.php and see we have now Nurso database created successfully. Then we can go to the console and check if you have this database. We can just show databases, and we have now Nursu. So before, way back then, we only have we deleted Nursu. Then we have now this. Na there is no Nursu. Then we have now Nursu. So our query is successful. So nakanindot ani, you have now the file. You have now this that you can carry and put it to your database. To the database. Excuse me. Ma, as ante. As ante. Ah. So, nakanindot ani kay um you have now the file that you can carry, you can put it in your flash drive, you can save it to your email so that we have now we can have um our codes. Before, we need to just create here and then it will disappear. So, is it okay? For now, it's okay for creating database, dropping database, but in creating tables which are have more fields, it is time consuming to create here on our console. So right now, we have now this thing that we can store it anywhere we want it to be stored. So this is your activity number one in creating um, a database here. So I think I have here a notes. I'll be this is the thing that we need to accomplish um, with this database schema lesson because this is also the foundation that we need to work with because we cannot create our application katong Nurso enrollment system if you don't have this database schema. So these are all. I think napa siya kulang. I will be finishing it today. But almost na siya finish. Um, this is the activity. So kutob nag number 40 something, 40, 42. So like for example, yeah, we have to create two database, Nursu and Siliman. So this one, we can um, add SQL1, SQL1, and I will just copy and paste for SQL2, and this one for Siliman. So make sure we know that this one is SQL2, so we will replace it here for SQL2. And also database created. Okay, so we have Silliman database created successfully. Okay. So here we can now test it again and refresh. So we have here in creating database, can create database nor so. So the first one is error because uh, we have already created our database nurso a while ago here. So when we show databases here, sorry, show um, databases, we have now Nursu and we have now Seliman. And when I refresh it again, we have now two errors, which is error creating database, can create database Nursu and Seliman. We all know that we cannot create it again because it is now duplicated. So that is your activity number one. Just creating a two database at one time. Any questions, clarifications? I have now 15 minutes left for the first hour. Um, mga mo quit lang ko dire, then I will create another one and standby lang mo. Uh, so question with this code. Sige, nadalo sa may pangutana. Mura magkapangutan anon. Okay, so let us continue. We can create another one, activity number 2.php, and that is what is intended for that. For 2 is 2.1 is delete. We have 2a is delete Siliman and 2b is delete Nursu. So I will create 2a, rename lang na to, 2a. So all we need to do is just copy. Okay, before I forgot, I have here, we have variable con. We need to close the connection after, so that's needed. So activity number 2A, include, we need to include, again, we have PHP and closing. Okay, and then forget to include the con 1.php. Okay, then forget to okay, variable con close. Okay, sometimes we forgot that one. So anaan lang nato directly. So the next thing that we need to do is to drop our database Siliman. That is the second one. So it is very easy. Just SQL drop database. Then what is the database? Seliman. So that's it. Okay. So again, variable con dot query and then the SQL and put it uh, an if statement so that we can check it is equal to true. Okay. Okay. Then echo. Okay. Um, database Silliman is successfully deleted. Okay. Else, if we don't have, there is an error. So let us echo it out. Error deleting database and then add whatever error we encounter. Um, okay. So we can now go to the browser, back, okay, and refresh. We have now activity 2A. So perform that one. Okay, database element is successfully deleted. We go to our here and type here show databases. We have now the Silliman database already gone. So that's it, how we do it. So similar to activity number 2B, very easy. Just copy and paste, and this one will be 2B. And this one will be for database Nursu. And just rename it SQL, okay, database Nursu successfully deleted. So now, um, refresh. No, we need to go back. We have now activity 2B. So we have now database Nursu is successfully deleted. If we go to show, before we have Nursu, right? So we show databases. So we don't have now Nursu. So that's it. So if we run again the 2A, there will be an error. Error deleting database, can't drop database Silliman, database that exists. So the Silliman right now is doesn't exist, so we have now error. You cannot delete Silliman because the Silliman is no longer exist. The same thing with Nursu. You can't drop database Nursu because it doesn't exist. So that's it. This is how we can create. So by running it again, by running activity one, we can now create database Nursu. So we can just and Silliman and show databases. We have directly created Silliman and Nursu. So na lang. This one is only for viewing purposes, show databases, show tables, and here we are going to run our queries here. So this is what my solution to our problem. So questions, clarifications before we now go to another meeting. Kay murag pila na lang ka minutes call in soon naman nakabutang. So questions. Yes, ako kagets. Ako man gikuan, akong gi-click. Like for example, karon nakita na ni Siliman og Norso. Kaya ako man siyang gi-click to activity 1. Kaya ang activity 1 mo create man siya og database. So karon pag click na ako sa activity 1, mag-error sila kay the Norso and ni Siliman is already exist. So, di siya create. So, karon when I click the 2A, the Siliman is deleted, right? So, when I go here, show databases, mawala ang Siliman. Nawala ang Siliman. Pero nara ang Norso. Pero, ari na po stick to B, madelete ang Norso. So, show databases, nawala ang Norso. Nakuha na ninyo. So, pero pag-click na kuha ning one, mubalik siya kay mo man na yung query to create a database. So, dili na mo magsigi-sige og type, no? Kay nakasave naman ang inyong query. Na gets ra ninyo ang ato ang flow. Okay, og na-gets na ninyo the meeting is on 7 minutes. So, na 6 pa. So, napay time. Mahitabuan ni kung ma-end ang time, I will be giving you another um, meeting. So please join na lang. Okay? So para ma-continue. So now the number 3 is we will create these table users with the following fields. This is the thing that we need to work with. So all we need to do, go back to our VS Code and type here activity 3.php. So again, open and close PHP and don't forget to include the con1.php. I sorry. Before we proceed to this, in creating our database, and when create no, we are now in creating our table, right? Number three, we are now creating our table. So when creating our table, we must now select in our connection here. We must have now the selection of our database where we can create our table. So to do that, we just copy this con one and paste it, and we will create con 2. The purpose for this is now because we have now selected a database. So for example, we have database is equal to Nurso. For example, Nurso is our database. So we will add this one to the fourth parameter. So that means in our database connection, we are now having a concentration of selecting our database for Nursu. A while ago, we have a con1 that has no database selection because you are in outside of the database server. Wala pa ka ni select kung unsang database imuhang gamiton. In our connection to, we have now selected Nurso is our selected database in our project. So that is why the few changes only is adding a variable database Nurso and add it on the fourth parameter on our con MySQL. So that means since we have now connection to on our activity number 3, we don't need anymore the con 1, but we need to use the con 2 because here we will create our table inside of database Nurso. So, nakuha rin ninyo? Ano natay con 2, guys? Nakuha ra ba ninyo kung natay con 2.php? O the difference between con 1 and con 2? Nakuha ra ninyo? Wala. Any questions so that we can now transfer to the new meeting? Wala rin pangutanan eh. Con 2 and con 1. Mm. Kuha ra. Con 1, again, ang con 1, asa mo turon? Ang con 1, we don't have a database selected. For con 2, we have now a database selected. Okay, this is intended to be used further in our activities, con 2. Okay? So, Now go back to activity number 3, which is con2 or SQL query. Okay. Okay. So, 2 minutes na malaman before di ta mawala. I will end this call and create a meeting, then continue where we left here. Parang dili ta mag-debug, okay? So, I'll be ending the call and then I will give you a new link. Okay. Okay, bye-bye for now. Asa guban? I don't know if what is okay ra guro na atuning i-buy 3 na lang siguro kay murag wa may computers kayo. By 3 or by 2 depending tomorrow whatever it is the scenario. Because daghan mo gud siyang activities. If you can see this, abot siya og activity number I think mga mo 50 gini siya. So kung may individual siya, medyo time consuming. Ato na naman siyang i-buy i-buy 3 or i-buy 2. Let us decide of how many computers we can able to work tomorrow. So ang ugma, ang akti ato ang buhaton is kanilang na activity para makapasapas punta sa kay hands-on sa database. Mm. Sige, continue. We have now on the SQL side or the query, we have to create our table. Okay, so our description for us is to create a table that has um, fields. Ano wala sa? We have the create user ID, username, password, retype password, like all of these. So all we need to do is here for SQL, we will type here create table, and the name of the table is users. So whereas the first is the can you sa na to ni Ron para madali na lang para makita ra ninyo. Kana makita ra ninyo ato ang gamon. Uh, okay, so the first is the user ID. We have varchar 6, and we have also the username which is a varchar 10. Yeah, it's yes, varchar 10, and we have also password varchar 20, and we have retype password varchar 20, lname varchar 2, fname varchar 5, mname varchar 5, and then role varchar 1, and status varchar varchar 1, and then last is the date added varchar 1. So everything is set. When the last one is don't have a comma. So everything is set. The same thing, do not forget the con um, close. That is very important. And then variable con that query, and then the variable SQL. And to check if that is working, we have to f um, is equal to true and echo something. Okay. So table, yes, yes, if. Kana, klaro na? So if con, okay, if table uh, uh, is correct, so we have table users created successfully, and then else kung dili gyud echo um, error creating table and whatever the error, so concatenate dot con error. Things everything is working fine. Okay. Okay, so let us run this one. Minimize or no, just open. Okay. Refresh this one. We have now activity 3. So when you click that one, okay, we have failed connection because we have database nurse. So as we can remember, um, we remove or we drop database nurse. So to do this, we can just click activity number 1. So we have now database nurse and Siliman. Then we are now going to click the activity number 3. So we have an error. Okay, password line number 2. Let us do the following. We have password barcar password barcar 20 retype password. Oh, sa kara ni ang problema ni barcar everything is barcar, right? Barcar na kama. Let us save and refresh. Retype password. Name barcar. Create table users. Sorry. I forgot to put uh, open close parenthesis and then this one. So that's the reason maybe. Save and refresh. Okay. So we have now table users successfully created. So let us check here. Show databases. Show databases. And use Nursu. Show tables. So we have now table users. And we can now see all the definitions of that scheme of the table users by using describe users. So this is the thing that we have already done. User ID, username, password, the type password, L name, F name, middle name, role, status, and added. So that is your activity number 3. So questions, clarifications. Karon ba ko kakuan ka admit sa uban? Karon ko kahiling sa okay. So this is the codes for activity number 3. And when we run it, this is we have now the database. So if we refresh it again, we have an error because we already have our database users. So mingon siyang already exists. So pag refresh ni mana kung naa, may error gina siya. because it says whatever error we encounter. It's very good. It's good because we all know that the database user is already there. So you cannot create it again because they have already exist. So which is normal na siya when you have already done. Yung error lagi sir. Okay. Error lagi siya because there's already done. There is already um existing table users. Okay? So what is the activity number 4 that I prepare? Is add email field to the users table. So if in case na ala nalimot ta og butang, if in case for example scenario, if we have created our table and it's already done, so unsaon nato na madungagan siya kay it's very no mas madugay pa man ta og ato pa siyang i-encode og usob. So to do that, like for example, we will add email field to the users table. So, or we can, whatever field that we forgot in creating our table, naka-create na ka na, nakaidugang, this is how we do it. We will alter the table, or we will alter means change the definition of the table. So, to do that, this is activity number 5, right? 4? 4 pa, no? Activity number 4. So, go back to the base code and create another file. Activity number 4.php. So again, open close parenthesis for PHP. Um, include the con2.php. Ayaw tong one, only two. And variable con close. Okay, close lang gina mo. Okay, so our query, the SQL that we need to work with is to alter the table that adds, we alter the table but add a field which is the email. Wala man tayo email dre, no? Wala tayo email. So, to add that one, we use this code, alter table users, whatever table that we alter. For now, we were going to use table users. We will add email field with a varchar of 2. So that's it. This is how just the command. Alter table users add email and then varchar 2. So to run the query, we use con and then query and the SQL. Then use the if statement for us to know if that is correct or done. Not so if it is equal to true, echo it out. Ingon ta na the users table uh, is added a field, an email field. Okay, if it's running correctly, if not, there is an error adding a field, and then output. Okay, sorry, and then output what is the possible error. So variable con error. Okay, that's it. Probably that's it. So that's it for activity number 4. Then go to the browser, back, refresh. We have now activity number 4. So the table users added an email field. So go back to here and describe it again. For this time, we can see email users. So as you can see now, before there is no email, right? But right now, nana siya ay email. So this is how we do it when adding field to the existing table. Nakuha na ninyo? Questions or clarifications? Nakuha na ninyo guys? Mm. Okay, so If done, wala na tingog. So, we can also, on activity number 5, we can rename for example, nasayop mo og type sa inyong field. Like example, type password and suddenly you change your mind and we name it to password underscore confirm. So we can rename it by using the alter table again. So that is your activity number 5. Then you do that one. Create another file. Um, activity 5.php. Open close parentheses. No, open close PHP. Include con2.php. And then don't forget to close. Okay. And then our SQL. Parang ina-energy sige, makakita ra mo sa pattern. The SQL part lang ang mausob. SQL. What is this SQL? So we have here alter table users because the users are table. Change. Um, we will change the retype password uh, to whatever. Okay. Ato ra siyang i-change into to that. So change retype password to password confirm. Then just put the again the variable character or whatever data types he owns. So I think that's it. Uh, ha? Tura at sa may tuang alter table user change. So, wala na siya ito. Okay ra na wala na siya ito. Then variable con variable con um query and then SQL. If that is correct, echo the user's table uh, renamed uh, re, to okay field successfully. Okay, butang atong BR day kay basin niya og naailain o sampaw niya echo and then error renaming field. Then include the possible error. So that's it. Try na to i-run. Save. Go back to the folder. Refresh. So we have activity number 5. Okay, the user's table rename password as password and confirm is okay. So before this is retype password, right? So when I describe it again, describe users. Oy, sorry. Describe users. So it now from retype password to password confirm. So that's it for activity number. Saan na siyang activity? Number 5. Okay, that's it. So question. Wala questions? Signay questions mo dira. By the way, while I am discussing, can you take a screenshot and send it to RGC for us for documentation? Kana kay di ko ka screenshot because I am doing the discussion. At the same time, I am using my screen also for the recording. So katong naglisod og sunod with this, I will be uploading the lecture note or tutorial for you to come back for your namang time na malimot ra gid ta. Dili jud na ay time always that always on that always gid siya malimot ra gyud. Okay, so um we will now go to activity number 6, which is to drop column password confirm. For example, if the scenario, if we find out that a particular field is no longer needed for your table, we need to drop or delete that one. So this is the code for that. So again, we can have activity number 6.php, um, include con 2.php, variable con close. Okay. And don't forget the SQL. Okay. For SQL, we need to drop a column. So it's still the same. It's more on altering the table. So this is the code. Alter table users. Drop column. The password confirm is the one that we need to delete. So drop password confirm, and that's it. So to execute, variable con dot query SQL. Then check it if true. So we have here, sa ito ibutang dali, echo, the users, sa man table, drop, password, confirm, field, successfully. Else, we have echo, error, drafting field, and then we include the possible error. Con error. Save that one and go to the browser, back, refresh. We have now activity number 6. Then click that one. So the user table drop password confirm field successfully. So now we can go to our console and check if that is drop ba. So show describe users. So right now we don't have now the password confirm. So that's it. That is how we can drop our table to the um no, that not drop table, but not drop a field to a particular table in case the table the column is no longer needed. So any questions? Dali ra sa. Mo man na ni ugma ni tanan. Okay, so number 7, we have to modify data types. Um, because we have to modify na pareha siya ni okay, so let us try how we do it for this one. For activity number 7. So we have to modify the int number 6 barcar 50. We have because we have here a different barcar which is not reliable or realistic. We know that the number of length is not realistic to particular field, so we need to match it here. The 650 for 6 for user ID, 50 for username, 100 for barcar, for password. So we will change that one. So how we can change the particular data type? in the existing table. So this is how we do it for activity number 7. So go to again here, activity 7.php. Okay, same ra gyapon, open close PHP, then include con2.php, then variable con, don't forget to close it. Okay, and this is now the SQL query. Um, we have alter table users. So the first thing that we need to change is the user ID. So we have change column user ID to user ID, same name ra gyapon, but time this one is int 6. Yes. Number 6, kanira drop column password. Unsay na usab? Oh, gidrop ra ang password confirm. Ang password confirm ra gidrop. Manang dire makita ninyo no, napay password confirm dire sa taas napa no. Napa. Pagabot dire, wala na password na lang. Muna activity number 6. Gets ninyo? Okay. Okay. So this is now for go back to the activity number 7. Alter table ra gyapon siya, but the command is change column user ID. Oh. Ang yang i-change lang is the same lang gyapon ang yang name, which is user ID. If ganani mo i-change ang username, ano the name of a field, pwede nimo i-change na siya. But in this scenario, we don't need to change it. This is intended only for the data type. So we will change the data type from varchar to uh, int 6. So the same thing with the username, we have to change column, and for username, this is for username, and then varchar 50. Again, change also column for password, the same name password, and varchar 100. Then we have also for the last name, so change um, column, um, last name, L name, L name, varchar 25. Change column, F name, F name, varchar 25. Then we have also change column, M name, M name, varchar 25. And then change for the role again, column, role, int 1. Nafumalain, hindi naman ako makita dire. Int 1 status. Change column status that is for int 1. Okay, then suma natin. We have also the date added. Change column date added, date added, only date. And the last one that we created the email, I think wala man dire. Wala na email. change column, email, email, varchar 100. So I think everything was uh, uh, makita tanan dire. We have here user ID, username, password, last name, first name, middle name, role, status, date added, and email. So everything is now because it's from only varchar and we have now changed it to a particular data type intended for this particular table. So to execute the query, we have con query and then SQL. Then put it on the if statement so that we can check it also. Then true, then echo the users table change field data types successfully. Else echo error changing field data type and include the possible error variable con error. Okay, I think that's good. We now go to our browser and refresh. We have now activity number 7. Click on this. Okay, we have a problem. Change column, role, column, name. Okay, what happened? Change. Okay, varchar. Okay, make sure that it is correct. Okay, let us try. Save, refresh. Okay. So the table user state changed field data type successfully. We can now go to our console and check if it is working. Describe users. So from this to this now, we have now user ID is equal to int6, username equals barcar50, password is barcar100, lname barcar25, fname barcar25, mname barcar25, role int1, status int1, date added, date, email. So everything is working good. So that is for our activity number 7. Questions? Paspas ra kita? Any questions or gibiyaan na nirong cellphone ron diya sa inyo ang atubangan ni wala ra na minaw. Questions, guys? And so far. So we will now go to activity number 8, which is the modify data types with constraints. So when you say with constraints, we don't want that our data, when we let the user input something to our data tables or data, as we can now see that our null ACS, meaning we can allow our table allows to be inserted a null data. When say null, walay sulod. So we want to change that one. Okay, we need to change that all our data must accept must have a data. Dili siya pwede masudlan og blanco. So that is what we intended for activity number number 8. So that is for activity number 8. So add lang to another file, activity 8.php. Same thing lang gyapon, open close parenthesis, include lang gyata gihapon og con.php 2 then also con dot close. And we have also our variable SQL. Okay. So this is activity number 8. So wala na ba ko'y questions dira kay dito diktara ta. So how we add or change a constraints. So alter table lang gihapon ta, same command, alter. Okay, I will just copy the number 7 because I think it's still the same. Copy lang na ko ang SQL sa number 7 para to save time. Instead of using varchar, I will be directing here. I will be adding only not null. So at the end of the line here, I will just add not null, not null. Mura na siya, not null. Uh, Everything uh, will be um, okay, add not null. So meaning we don't accept empty value. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so we can execute it. Variable con query SQL and check our statement, our code true, and then echo the user's table change field data type with const not null with not null constraints successfully. BR lang ta. Okay? If inte else kung na ay problema, okay? Echo error changing field data type with not null constraints. And add the possible error variable con error. Guess that's good. Okay, we now go to our browser. Refresh. We have now activity number 8. Click on that. Okay, the user's table change field with not null constraints. Okay, go to this. Remember the null, yes, 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 yes. Okay, now the next thing that we have here, describe users. It will now no, 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 because not null. That is intended for activity number 8. From yes, null to no null. Kuha ninyo? Nakuha ra ba guys? Wa naman katingog sila lagi. Oo. Okay. Number 9, we have set field default value. Like for example, sa role int natay mga pasabot ana unsa guro na siya kanang unsa na siya ng set field. Ato nang dungangan for og comment, unsa na siyang comment. So, like status na siya na activated, not activated, block sa mga status niya sa iyang account. Sa role say administrator or user. Muna to, so we have that one. So we have to make it a default value. So how can we do it? Um, this is for activity number 8. No, it's activity number 9.php. So we have here that one. Include con2.php and variable con that close. So So this one, we have to, okay, ato siyang i-add. Oh no, i-set na to ang default value. So to do that, default value for that is SQL. The same Japan alter table. Alter table users. Then we have alter role set default to 1. So, unsa man ang default niya? It's one is username or two is administrator privilege. So, at mo tangad rin niya to og comment that is one is user and ang two is administrator. So, muna siya. So, meaning, iset niya is default to 1. So, pag register niya, dili lang yun siya administrator, but only a regular user. And for another one, our table, we have status set to default. We have also one. Ang comment na to ani is one is we have set it to zero na lang. So zero is not activated. One activated. Um, number two is banned. Okay, I think that's it. So we are setting it a value because before we don't have a default value. Null raman ang nakabutang ang default value. But we need to, for our role, we have a default value for 1 and sa 0 for the status. So all we need to do is to execute this one, variable con, variable query, variable SQL. Then if is equal to true, echo mm, the user's table set field default value successful. Okay, then else echo error setting field default value and the possible error. Okay, try to check it. Go or run it. Go back to the browser and refresh activity number 9. Okay, there is a error. Comment. Comment. Okay. Okay, ito lang ikwaon niya. Kay murag sipyat ko ani. Save and refresh. Okay, it was saved. Okay, then go to our describe users. So we have now a default value for role, which is 1, and status is 0. So it's not working. That is for activity number 8. Oh no, that is activity number 9. Okay. So we have 15 minutes more with the activity number for session number for meeting ID number 2. So akong tangganahan with this one na malahos ra nato ning um malahos ra to diri kutob of 16. It is because ang 16 create table mga kabantay mo mga create mog table i-drop ninyo. Create mog table i-drop ninyo. Create og table drop. So meaning lain-lain ra na table. Um Pero, kuan lang siya. Nailayan siya na table, pero the same is to create a table and drop. This is your activity. About sa 47. Nailayan ra gud na siya. Create table. So, mas maayo kung makaabot ta dire. We can come up to 16 so that you are easy na lang for you to follow with all the series of activities. Um, because we are now on a number 10. So murag makaad pa tag usa ka meeting ID ani. Then the rest will be kuan na gid siya. Um, Kamo na bahala. I will just give you uh, mga kuan lang. I will just give you this pattern sa tong gamon. Okay, so we will now go forward to our activity number 10. Okay? For activity number 10, para madali ko, I'll just copy and paste. For activity number 10, okay, same naman Japon sila. We have, sorry, na apostrophe. Um, Same lang Japon, connect. Ang malahi raman is the SQL. So, kanipod, mura po malahi gamay for the, whatever the output. So, activity number 12, 10 is just basically, um, Basic 10 is just to create a primary key and multiple unique keys. So we will create a primary key based on our table. We have to create user ID as a primary key and the username and password will be the unique key. So this is the target for this activity. So to do that, we have to same again alter table users and not alter but add na. We have add a primary key. Okay, to user ID. So that is the primary key, which is the user ID. And we will also add a constraints. Add constraints. This is how we do when we create multiple unique IDs. So we have add constraints. Then you have uh, user constraints underscore users. That is the name of our constraints, and that is we create a unique. And we have the unique field is the username and then the password. Okay, I guess that is correct. So we will just follow if correct siya SQL. We will just um, output here the users table, um, add primary key and multiple unique keys successfully. Okay, then error, we have an error adding primary key and multiple unique keys. So that's it. So, okay, so to check this one, we go to our browser and this is for activity number 10. So we have an error. Line number 3. What is the error by the way? User ID constraint sorry, constraint. Refresh. Okay. Okay. So error adding. Okay. I think na okay to siya, but I refresh it twice. So let us check it again here. Describe users. So as you can see here, we have the user ID. key is primary key, and then ang username, mall. Okay. We have username. Okay. So let us search what is the command. I forgot. Show uh, keys in SQL. Um, I forgot this command. Okay, you show keys in. Okay. Okay, we have show keys in users. Okay. So as we can see here, we have keys in our table users. We have primary key, user ID, because here in the table we cannot see it clearly. So in the show keys in users, we have primary, which is for user ID, users for username, and uses users for password. So this is how we have now three keys. First is the primary key, and the second is the UC users, where UC users are for unique one. Asa man to ron? Para na sa unique kana. Ang ngalan na sa to ang key is UC users atong gigama a while ago. So we have already created our um our keys. Dire. So nata sa 10. Okay? So questions. Murag di na no, ug maka-add man gani tagurok usa ka time karon. Um di na kayo mahurot gamay malaman sad. So question, guys. Mm, okay. Okay lang. You can must watch it. Um Probably if available ang video, I will try it na ma-upload na ko karong gabi for you to makasugod mo. Tomorrow, you have a reference na ma-access ninyo sa YouTube mga tuwang discussion for now. Okay, so we have now mga 7, mga 5 minutes na lang. So end the time. So let me continue with activity number 11, which is to drop a primary key and multiple keys. Ako siyang i-continue para gamay na lang ang ato ang ma-carry over sa next video. Okay? Gamay na lang. So to do that, the same thing lang akong buhaton para mapaspas. We can just copy and paste. Rename lang. Then activity number 11. The same, connect. All we need to do is to drop tables, to drop. So alter table users. This time we will just drop the primary key, and then we know that the SQL knows or whatever the primary key is, and also it drop also the constraints. Okay, that's it. So this is the table. This is the code where we drop what we have added keys a while ago. So to do that, to check on that, the users table added, okay, deleted na lang ni primary key. Then deleting, okay. So instead of adding, deleting na siya. So I just done it without walay kabot 1 minute siguro. We have now activity in number 11, which is to delete primary key and multiple unique keys. So check it out, run it. So refresh activity 11. So error on line number 3. So we have an error. I sorry, because it is drop. Okay, it's drop. Okay, okay. Refresh. Okay, so the user's table deleted primary key and okay. So how to check on it? Here we will now run show keys in users. So as you can see here, there is no response for the show keys in users. So we have empty set. So naka-empty siya. So we have now deleted a primary key and um, we have deleted the primary key and then the multiple users, ano, unique keys. So that is for intended for activity number um, intended for activity number 11. Okay? So wala na tayo time. It's all for more minutes na lang. So kaya na lang atong tiwason add table users primary key and a unique key. Usa na lang siya instead of multiple, unique key na lang then. And then we have after that, we have to drop the table users. Then we will create the final create table users na nanapod siya ay auto increment because we have failure from the very beginning that we did have the auto increment. So we cannot add auto increment on the outer command. We have to add it when we create our table. So mo gina siya balantayan. So after that, we will delete the table users. Then that's it. I will let you go now, and because here until dire murag naramang po ko code. I will just share you the my source codes kay I have done this one. Ako lang i-share na lang siguro ang pod ang source code sa inyo pero dili yung share gyud na pwede niyo maka paste because I have done it localhost hands-on. So I have here a list of activities pero wala piton human patong kuan. So, na ako dire for you to work with sa inyo na lang. So, ang ato lang humanon is 14 for you to work with tomorrow na na mo yung matrabaho. So, mga kuan lang siguro mga 10 minutes or 15 minutes to finish our lecture for today. So, okay lang? Napamangka mo diya. Napatawan. Okay. Okay, so I will be ending the video no the conference because 2 minutes na lang. Then I will give you the link, the final meeting for final for today. Nag-attendance na mi ganiya. For second attendance, wala pa. Up. Sige lang, ato lang, I'll just check my attendance every first and last month. So, okay. So, akong out lang ta ditanan, then we will add for the other meeting ID. Okay? Uy, balik mo nung ko diri. Wala, init lang. Pero I don't know, kay murag na mo bagyo na pod. Um, so for activity number 12, it's similar to number 11, number 10. So we'll just copy and paste for number 10. Okay. Wala, wala ako ka-share screen, sorry. Okay, let me share my screen. Ah, okay na makita ra. Okay. So what I did for activity number 12, similar add lang a primary key and a unique key. Ang number 10 is add a primary key but multiple unique keys. So this time is only one unique key because in a actual scenario in our table we only have one unique key also, which is the username. Password cannot be unique because in reality maybe username must be not be the username must not be similar, 'di ba? If you can register to any websites, username mingon silang username is already taken. But the password, wala siya ningon na password is already taken. So probably there are similar same password with different user holder. Wala lang nila kay nga naman to also less the chance of know that if maingon sila na oh, password is already been taken, that means there is a password being used. So it's also a security concern. So that means a unique key must be only for the username, not the password. So that means that is why the final one that we need to use is the activity number 11. So to do that, for activity number 11, oh yes, oh no, that activity number 12 is to alter same ra gyapon. Since same plus activity number 10, I'll just copy the activity number 10 and rename it to 12. So same here, alter table users, add primary keys, still the same. Instead of add constraints, I will just directly add unique and whatever is the field name. So, mora na siya. So, compare it a while ago. So, kani siya, the user's table and primary key and a unique key is successfully uh, so kani pod adding and unique key. So, kana lang. So, nausob lang nato is only in this line. So, what we did, save and go to the browser katong usa dire. We have now activity number 12. So the user's table, primary key, and okay, so you added it. You go to here. Before we don't have because we deleted it, and now we can show keys in users. So we have now two keys on our users. We have primary and okay, and then the unique key. Oh no, yes, the unique key. So that's it. So that's it for your activity number 12. Okay. So, wala questions, ana? For activity number 12? Okay, so direkta na ta sa activity number 13. Okay, it's drop table user. So, it's very easy for us to create that one. So, to create a drop table, we'll create another file, um, activity 13.php, include con2.php, variable con dot close. Okay. And for your SQL, okay, so we have drop table and the name of the table, which is users. Okay, so dali lang. Then implement or execute variable con dot query SQL and check if that is correct. or running it correctly. If uh, is equal to true, okay, echo, okay, the user's table deleted successfully. Okay, then else kung wala, echo error on deleting um, user's table and include the possible error, variable con error. So what is the problem? Okay, kani. And then kani. O kan. So that's activity number 13. And now go to the browser and let's try to refresh it. Activity number 13. So table is deleted successfully. Now we can show tables here. So there is no tables under nursu. So no table. So we already deleted table nursu. So that is for activity number 13. Okay. So we will now have the the last activity that I can show you, which is the we will create a table users which is katog yung final. Pero murag dali raman to because we have already done it ganiha um or wala ba? Murag wala data ga update naman tato no. So we will create it a in a scratch. So activity 14 dot php. So include con.php and variable con close. So our SQL must look like this. Create table users. Okay. So the first field that we need to use is the user ID, and we have a int 6, not null, auto increment, and we decided that this is a primary key. So it is now a complete set in creating a data table. So di na tam sig alter, pwede ato nang i-direktaon o gama og table na complete na siya constraints, na siya auto increment, na siya primary key. So we have also username varchar 50 not null, and this one is unique. So next is password is equal to varchar that is 50, right? 50 varchar 100 not null. So I will just copy everything for not null so that madali ta. And then email varchar still 100. And then lname varchar 25 not null. Fname varchar 25 not null. Mname varchar 25 not null. Okay, for the role, I, okay, for a while. Okay, we have int one not null. We have default value of 1. And we can add a comment here, like for 1. role user and 2 is admin. Kindly someone is turning on the microphone. Okay, Mojo. Sige, thank you. Um, let's continue. Then we have status int 1, not null, default 0, comment 0 is not activated. Okay, sorry, 0 is not activated. 0, 1 activated. 2 is disabled. Then date added, date not null. I think that's it. And to execute, variable con, query, variable SQL. Okay, then if statement, true. Echo, table users created successfully. We have BR or line break and error if not there's error. Error creating table users. Users. Okay, let's run this one. Go to the browser. Activity number 14. Okay, error. Okay, there's a problem with the comment. 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 Default. Daray. Wrong. Default. 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 Okay, let us try it again. Okay, so table users created successfully. Now we can show tables. So we have now users and we can describe it. So we have now our table users. So uh, everything is working fine. So that's for it for up to activity number 14. So na ako activity 15 to 16 na natanan ako ra ihatag sa inyo. Like for example, same raman Japan na siya database. So ug magama taw what is the activity number 15 is to create student table. Okay. Nana ko dire here. Activity number 16. 16 ba to? 15. So click to 15. Okay. To then created successfully. So when I show tables, we have now two tables, which is students. Then we can have describe students. Okay. Nana siya is students. Okay. So activity number 16. Oh, 16 ba to? Hindi kadaghan naman good. 16 is drop. So i-drop na to ang students. So i-show tables. Wala siya. So okay siya. So kung 615 naa siya, na ay table so tong igama. Okay. So we have another one. We have also 17. Okay. So address region created. So show tables. So we have address region. So describe address region. Okay. So we have this. So all in all, kung ato ako ni siyang agamon tanan, ako lang hihatag ninyo. Balik-balik na is to create table. So the purpose of this is when we create now or because this is the first stepping stone also. Ako rang gihurot ng database schema for our enrollment system. So the next thing that we have, so human nato ni karong wika tanan, hopefully, human nato tanan tomorrow. Um, makapadayon ta proceeding with katoko ang gihatag ninyo na discussion. Naka-remember pa mo sa last meeting nato dito sa lecture katong giusa nako when we created uh, a web interface nagamatag form ni-register ta. So ato ra po to siyang gulpihon to create a form and to create a query so that later on we have now an application. By the end of the semester, we have an application that is running. So medyo dako-dako man siya because the nervous system is very also a huge application. So kanilang. So kutob lang siguro to dire and then after this ihatag lang nako ninyo ang tanan. Probably saon ako ni. I have here also nakoy saon ako ni ron let me decide how can I give it to you kanita ng 43 items, 43 activities. Kaya ako ni hatag ninyong codes, easy lang kay mo. Pakodon yun ta mo. Okay. So that means sa inyo uh, sa inyo individually you have this activity. Pero iba'y pair mo na ako or iba'y trace pa na ako mo tomorrow depending of the computers for tomorrow. So, the output for this, kung inyong i-add tanan, inyo yung siyang mahuman tanan, 17 man to, no? 17, 19, 21, kaya ako naman ni siyang 23, puro man i-add, 25, um, 27, 29, 31, 30, so 33, dagang kayong tables, 33, 35, 37, 39, oh, wala pa tayo 40. So, arito dire, when we show tables, medyo ubay-ubay na kita to ang tables in our database nurso. So, hopefully, makaya guro ni ugma tanan. Ako ray hatag ninyo. Mm. Ano, loya man. Ato nang paningkamutan. Ako ray hatag ninyo ang mga source. Inyong tunan karong gabi ang mga source code. Pero og nakabantay lang yun mo, 'di ba? Kabantay mo balik gikan sa 1 about 14. Asa rin napita mausob? 'Di ba sa SQL ra? Di rin napita ang mausob, 'di ba? Ang kani diri ang echo ron depende ra man pud sa unsay imong itumong diri, mura pa imong i-adapt diri. Pero makita rin ninyo ang pattern. Dali ra gid siya kayo once makuha ninyo inyong malantaw. Pero karon maybe na overwhelm lang mo sa kadaghan. Okay. Oh, ha? Unsa? Kuan, mahumanin ta na activities mag midterm ko ninyo in hands-on. Oo. May tabuan ni hands-on lang. Akong plano dyan sa yung midterm, um, mukuha ra ko sa activity, mukuha ra ko sa 1 up to 44, i-draw lots lang na ako, kung sa imong bunutan mo imong midterm, imong nubuhaton sa tubangan nako, hands-on man. Draw lots lang ba? Um, from 1 to 44, may imuhang mabunot, may imuhang gamon, in actual, mo ako ang plano for your midterm. Okay, so muna atong buhaton ni tomorrow para natay ka midterm. Okay? So I'll stop now the recording of the on-screen tutorial or the video so that di na siya taas. It's now 20 or no, 1 or 2 hours. So ako na stop.